What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft, how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Now, many of you may know just from being online, Officer Tatum interviewed a couple of those white teenage kids. Well, he went on Nancy Grace, and she really railroaded him when you really think about it, but you will see. So anyway, he really goes above and beyond trying to protect them white teens. This man is a disgrace. I I don't blame anybody for not listening to him. I normally don't. I don't like him. I don't particularly care for his style of podcast. I don't like it. And I know he's a grifter, he's a coon, and he does not try to hide his disdain for other melanated people. So there's a list of reasons why I don't care for him. But he could not outwit Nancy Grace during this interview. Now, in part of the interview, you're going to hear him actually lie. He tries to say those white teens took a polygraph and passed it. They did not actually get hooked up to a polygraph. They were asked a series of questions and they answered the questions. And I don't see how that's a polygraph. That's not a polygraph. And she kind of corners him until he admits it wasn't a polygraph. And he's only going on their words. He didn't see any results on whether they passed or failed on these answers. So, and a dude is full of crap. So you're about to see it. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Hope you're doing well today. All right, let me share my screen. And be honest with you, I'm not even crazy about Nancy Grace. You know, she's one of those people that rose up on the OJ trial. And she just went in front of the cameras being all loud and rowdy, opposing OJ. And that's how she really rose up and ended up getting her own TV show. In fact, a couple of them ended up with TV shows from the OJ trial. Thank you for the ones.
Officer Tatum just went on Nancy Grace's show and got an up-close and personal look at real journalism. I want you to watch this video and then stand to the end because there's a very important point I would like to make.
Objection. You've been in court long enough to know you're going to get objections. You said you didn't have great reception, but you did have reception, did you not?
No, there was reception there. It just wasn't great, and it wasn't great enough for people, in my opinion, to upload. You can make a phone call potentially, but you wasn't going to upload data to a social media account. Now, could people take the steps to do it if they're dedicated enough? Yes, but it doesn't appear that would have been a frequent thing, given the fact that you probably had 1 or 2 bars out there. And I heard evidence of that. Not only did I see evidence of it when I went out there myself personally with my cell phone, when I listened to the CETO call, you could tell that the call dropped out several times. It seemed like they were having trouble at times hearing each other. So it is consistent. And anybody that travel out there that have gone to the 4th of July celebration, they know that the reception is not very great. So the videos that they showed me in call logs were things that were not associated to social media, that they never posted on social media. It was, pictures and videos that they took on their phone.
Okay. Let me refine my question. I take it from your last answer that the answer is yes, you had reception on Horn Island.
Yes, I did have reception on Horn Island.
We just played that CETO call. It's 2 words, SEATOW, and it's kind of insurance that people have that are boat goers. And if you have a problem, CETO will come and tow you back to the mainland. They said they had a problem. They said they were taking on water. One of your takes is that all the chatter that we're hearing, wake up, Nolan, are you dead, Nolan, wake the F up, Nolan, could be referring to the battery, the bilge on the boat, that it's all unclear. Regarding the boat being disabled, apparently it was not. Listen.
So first, at 9:56 a.m.
In 2026, there's a very important skill that you have to have, and that is the skill of discernment. You have to be able to discern whether the person you're listening to is an actual expert or authority over the subject matter that they are covering. We live in a world where people can just gain a bunch of followers, and then we assume that because they have a lot of followers, they have a lot of credibility. And Officer Tatum has been behaving like a journalist while not actually doing the professional role of journalist. When he was interviewing the 2 boys that were with Nolan Wells, that was not an interview in pursuit of the truth. That was an interview in helping these 2 boys get their narrative out that makes them appear to be innocent. Now, I say that they might actually be innocent. I don't actually know. But the interview that he was doing was helping them get the narrative out that puts them in the best light. But Nancy Grace, a real journalist with a prosecuting attorney background, you see that she's actually in pursuit of the truth. So every time this man said something that was incongruent to the facts, she called him on it. She pursued it. She asked him really difficult questions and made him very uncomfortable during this interview. And I want you to also notice, he treated her very differently than the way he talks on his platform. He was a lot more soft. He was a lot more respectful. He was a lot more timid. He was noticeably uncomfortable, even nervous. Why is that? Why do you think on his platform, when he's talking to mostly Black people, he's very aggressive, he's very arrogant, he's very almost abusive? But when he's talking to Nancy Grace, completely different energy. I would argue, number 1, her race. Number 2, her attitude and her credibility and her authority. She does not put up with BS, and a person who's completely full of it, she would not tolerate and continued to pursue the truth. So as you are consuming information, not just in the Nolan Wells case, but also of anything on the internet, please try as hard as you can to ask yourself, is this person an actual authority, or are they just performing as an authority because they want clicks, views, money, whatever the situation may be? So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Please follow, and I'll keep you updated on what's going on in the news, and I will definitely keep you updated on the Nolan Wells case, and I'll continue to decode clinically the things that I'm seeing online.
Photos, videos, snaps of that day on Horn Island.
So I want people to be very clear with this. I spent my career putting people in jail. My career is based on getting justice for people who have been done wrong. I've never been a defense attorney. So me going out and doing this was to find out what happened to Nolan Wells. And in talking to these young men, the burden of proof is they're going to have to prove to me. I'm not going to listen to what they say out of their mouth. They're going to show me. And in many cases, they showed me videos of Nolan on the island. They showed me videos of the boat when they were getting towed out, which is consistent with, kind of similar to what the phone call was. I mean, they showed me pictures of them with Nolan. They showed me phone records of them calling Nolan's mom and all of the above. So they seemed very...
All that don't say shit. And they still don't have on the same clothes that they had on when they was with Nolan.
Consistent. They seemed very genuine. And they also proved to me some of the things that they had told me in the interview that I had with them that I have uploaded on my YouTube channel.
Officer Tatum, are you telling me that they had reception on Horn Island? Because many people are saying, well, the reason that there's nothing on Nolan's phone of that day, like there's no pictures, there's no snaps, there's no text, there's no anything, not because it was deleted, but because he didn't have reception. But you're telling me the other boys did have snaps, photos, videos, and reception?
Yeah, no, Nancy, let me clarify this for you.
Don't stutter now, Ninja. Don't stutter now.
No.
Former prosecutor with nearly a decade of courtroom experiences. Former prosecutor. Nancy Grace is a former prosecutor. Rage Batum Tatum just said he never played a defense. That lets you know he's trying to defend the boys. Check it out, y'all.
It wasn't that they uploaded this online. They showed me videos and things that they took from the boat during the outing on 4th of July. I was personally out at Horn Island. I rode out there on a boat, and I didn't have great reception there. And I left my phone in the boat when I got into the water, and we were actually going out to do interviews.
Objection. You've been in court long enough to know you're going to get objections. You said you...
She's not playing. She said, shut your ass up. You're not used to this right here. You on my platform. Ain't nobody playing with you, boy.
didn't have great reception, but you did have reception, did you not?
No, there was reception there. It just wasn't great, and it wasn't great enough for people, in my opinion, to upload. You can make a phone call, potentially, but you wasn't going to upload data to a social media account. Now, could people take the steps to do it if they're dedicated enough? Yes, but it doesn't appear that would have been a frequent thing.
Have the friends taken polygraphs?
Well, from my understanding, all but I believe one took a polygraph, and from what was told to me, that they all passed. And all of the ones that took a polygraph took one without a lawyer. And they cooperated with law enforcement. So from my understanding, everybody took a polygraph test.
Why do you say that's from what
one.
You understand? Did they tell you they took a poly and passed?
Yes, ma'am. They told me that they did it. I wasn't there. So that's what I'm saying from my understanding. They told me that all the boys except one, which is Warren, I believe, took a polygraph test. All of them did not have lawyers and did it and cooperated with police. Warren also cooperated with police. I just believe he didn't take a lot to take the test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So according to what they told me, they all took a lot of tech tests and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lot of tech test. It's not a traditional lot of tech test, but it's the same theology of trying to get to if a person is lying. I don't know the name of it. It's an equivalent of a lot of tech tests. It's a different methodology. I don't believe it was a polygraph test. I believe they took other stressors in order to analyze the.
He just lied. In the beginning, he said they took lie detector tests, they took a polygraph, and they passed. Now he's backtracking and he's saying it wasn't a polygraph, but that's what he said in the beginning. He's trying, like I said, he's trying his best to defend these white teens. That's exactly what he's doing. That ain't, a stress test. That's not a polygraph. But he said it was. All right. He said it was a polygraph and they passed the polygraph. Now he's backtracking.
So then the answer to did they take a polygraph would be no.
Well, yeah, I think it could be semantics because they took a test to analyze whether or not they were being truthful in their statements, and that certified test, they passed it. It just wasn't considered a traditional polygraph. I think it's a more advanced way of doing it.
Brandon Tatum. Hold on.
Officer Tatum, seemed like you wanted to put yourself in the middle of this so you can cape for them friends. Did they take polygraph tests?
From my understanding, all but I believe one took a polygraph, and
okay, cool. So all of them except one did take a polygraph test.
From what was told to me, that they all passed, and all of.
Oh, so you haven't seen a polygraph test because this is what was told to you.
The ones that took a polygraph took one without a lawyer, And so
So you have no concrete information, wasn't there, but you also know that they took the polygraphs without lawyers there. Oh, okay.
and they cooperated with law enforcement. So
Seems like you're making a whole lot of assertions.
my understanding, everybody took
Why
a
do you say
polygraph
that's
test
from
but
what you
one.
understand?
Thank you, Nancy. I have the same question.
They tell you they took a poly and
They
passed.
told yes, ma'am. They told me that they did it. I wasn't there. So
Wasn't there and have no information, but everything that they told you is just good as the gospel.
Warren also cooperated police. I just believe he didn't take a lot to take the test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So
And you don't think it's significant that Warren didn't take the lie detector test because you interviewed him and he seemed believable?
they all took a lie detector test and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lie detector test.
It's the equivalent of a lie detector test. Wait a second. So they didn't take a lie detector test, the tradition?
There is nothing equivalent to a lie detector test. They were not hooked up to a polygraph. So I don't know what he's talking about equivalent to a lie detector test. If that's the case, then give us the specific name of this equivalent test. He can't. Show the results from each one that took it. He can't do that. It's just him babbling, and we're just supposed to take his word for it. That's all it is. Like I said, he's going all out trying to protect these white teens. For real.
Lie detector test?
Not a traditional lie detector test, but it's the same theology of
What did
trying
they
to get to if a person is lying.
Officer Tatum, we're not talking about theology. Did you mean technology? Are you nervous?
I don't know the name of it. It's an equivalent of a lie
So
detector
not
test.
a poly.
So now you don't even know the name of the test that they took. All these tests that they took that you said that they passed and cooperated with police, you don't even know the name of the test.
So then
People were
the
telling the
answer
truth or
to
not.
did they take a polygraph would be no.
Absolute disgrace. You have no concrete information, don't know nothing, ain't seen nothing, can't verify nothing, but you out here caping. Disgrace. Hope you like being on that side.
All right, so welcome to part 2 of the breakdown with Officer Tatum and totally embarrassing himself and showing us that he lacks a lot of evidence that he's so factuated with and that he so strongly pushes. And turns out he has no damn clue. But part 2, shall we?
Seemed very genuine, and they also proved to me some of the things that they had told me in the interview that I had with them that I have uploaded on my YouTube channel.
Officer Tatum, are you telling me that they had reception on Horn Island? Because many people are saying, well, the reason that there's nothing on Nolan's phone of that day, like there's no pictures, there's no snaps, there's no text, there's no anything, not because it was deleted, but because he didn't have reception. But you're telling me the other boys did have snaps, photos, videos, and reception?
Yeah, no, Nancy, let me clarify this for you. It wasn't that they uploaded this online. They showed me videos and things that they took from the boat during the outing on 4th of July. I was personally out at Horn Island. I rode out there on a boat, and I didn't have great reception there. And I left my phone in the boat when I got into the water, and we were actually going out to do interviews.
Objection. Objection. You've been in court long enough to know you're going to get objections. You said you didn't have great reception, but you did have reception, did you not?
No, there was reception there. It just wasn't great.
So you see how easy she caught him up. Now, all of a sudden, it is actually reception out on Horn Island. So many people told me it's 10 miles out, you have no reception. Though it might be spotty, you do have reception. So, and also, and put this in context, the other boys had video evidence. They had pictures and everything. They actually took some. And even if they didn't have internet access, you know, you could save it on your phone because of Snapchat and you can post it later. We do understand that. So the fact that Nolan has nothing and is completely cleared out of everything is blasphemy. He actually got himself caught up because he said he left his phone on the boat when he got out because of lack of reception or because he was having trouble getting reception. But also in the same sentence, he explained that it was actual service connection on that island. And as you see by Nancy Grace, she specifically asked him, so is there reception or not? Because you said there is. And he said, yeah, there is some. So for all the people that are saying, oh, you can't get no reception out there, that is a proven wrong. You just heard it from the person that y'all love to run behind. He just said there's absolutely reception out there. It might be spotty, but it is reception. It might take you a little while to send it, but you can. Carry on.
That don't seem very accurate. And why nobody talking about where's his black friends? I don't know where that's at either.
Now, this is one of the biggest things that gets me. In the video you just seen, he said, now where is all his black friends? I don't hear nobody talking about that. You talking about the black friends that was interviewed first publicly? Are you talking about them? Or you talking about the black friends that wasn't on the boat when he went out there with his white friends? What exactly are you saying? See, what Officer Tatum is trying to do is he's trying to switch races. He's trying to make it look like that his black friends, in fact, had something to do with it. And I'm going to tell you who he's trying to make it look like has something. He's trying to make it look like that Javon Williams young man has something to do with it. Why you think he said, where are all his black friends? He's not talking about the ones that's interviewing with him. He's talking about Javon Williams. Javon, if you know anything, you better get talking. Because I'm telling you, they're about to spit it on you. Because you know what? You were supposedly left on that island with him. If he was indeed still on that island, they're trying to paint it on you. They're trying to push it on you. And that's what exactly is Officer Tatum's, that's his motive. He's trying to get it off them and trying to put it on someone of the same race so it won't be a race war or it won't be found out what's going on in that race, in that town. You better watch what you're doing. Watch yourself. That man is an infiltrator. He's planted to do this for a reason. He's planted to have black people going at it with black people. He's planted to take your mind off of what's actually going on. The fact that he said, where's all the black people? When there is none in question of the actual case. Why aren't you saying, where are the culprits? Where are this and that? You're saying, where are the black people? You are more aggressive with that. And there is, according to them, there is none. It's Ocean Springs. I didn't see nobody dark out there. I didn't see nobody fool. All we seen was mixed people. If that's what y'all want to go off of. So what are you actually saying, Officer Tatum? See, y'all, this is why I say he needs to be called in. He needs to be investigated himself. He needs to be hit with tampering with evidence or, subpoenaed or given a court order to say he needs to stay away because he is causing more of a problem. Now, if you want to help the crumps and help everybody else, which we do appreciate, you keep your dumb ass out there and keep looking stupid because you can't answer a question. You can't answer it with your chest because you completely manufactured most of your findings. And it's obvious. See, my thing is, why isn't it emphasis on pressuring the young man to find out who actually bought those drinks for them? Who actually supplied them with the drinks? What store they got them from? I don't care. If they went and got them themselves, what store did it come from? If somebody bought it from them, which adult bought it from them? Because whether y'all trying to push this toxicology and you putting out the narrative that Nolan was drinking, he was heavily drunk. All of them was heavily drunk if you listen to the phone call, if that's the case. But Nolan the only one that didn't come back. Nolan the only one that's dead. So I don't want to hear that. I'm just wondering why these adults that was on that island wasn't called in for questioning to find out who provided those young men with drinks. Because whoever bought those drinks, and if something happened to Nolan, you know what? They are the cause of it. Because you fed that young man who was under 21 drinks. You bought them and supplied them with those drinks. We want to know who they are as well. Why haven't they? Why isn't that something you push? Y'all push the toxicology. Won't you push out why they was able to get intoxicated? Can we find that out? Because if it's not bought by someone grown or it's not purchased illegally, then how was it given? This never happens, correct? If it's so much of a toxicology issue, so somebody needs to be arrested. Somebody needs to be brought in. Somebody needs to be questioned. And the fact that they operated a boat, a motor vehicle under the influence is a crime in itself. There are so many more answers and so many more crimes that took place. So many breakings of the law that took place. Why aren't these being brought to the forefront? because we need to know what's going on with these as well. You know what it is.
All I know is Tatum got caught up there with Nancy Grace a couple of times. So, no, he's full of shit. There's nothing equivalent to a polygraph. Either you took a polygraph or you didn't. And as far as toxicology, he doesn't know what's on Nolan's toxicology report. He's going off what those white guys said. Oh, he was drunk. But I think they were all drunk, y'all. You can even listen to that call and you can tell that teen that was on the phone talking was drunk. You could hear it. So, I mean, yeah, he really is a Uncle Ruckus. He really, truly is. And I don't think he made things better for those boys. Now, my question is when they all came back without Nolan, why didn't the police confiscate every single phone that was on that boat? Every person that had a phone on that boat, they should have taken every last one of those phones to look at the video, to see what kind of pictures were taken, because a lot of these teens are stupid and they'll film things they have no business filming. So the fact that they didn't do that, that says a lot right there. Mississippi police got a bad reputation. They've had a bad one for many decades. And as you can see, they are still operating on the same system from 60, 70 years ago. They haven't changed at all. Just like the police chief trying to declare no wrongdoing and all this stuff. Man, shut up. Nothing was even done at that point. But this is what they are used to doing, especially when the circumstances, is a melanated person gone and the last ones around them were white. Yeah, they always wanted to dismiss the whole thing. So, from what I understand, Nolan's mom is filing all kinds of lawsuits against them now. She's throwing them lawsuits around. And because she says she's trying to find answers. So this is going to be an interesting case, and the grand jury, I'm not happy that this is going to a grand jury at all. I'm not happy about that at all. Just the entire premise of a grand jury, just like Breonna Taylor, you saw how that went before a grand jury and they screwed her over. But see, Daniel Cameron, another coon, did that on purpose. So, and now we see Officer Tatum. You know why they went to him, y'all? He's a safe Negro. That's why. He ain't going to challenge them. He's not going to really give them hard questioning, because they're his favorite color. He's going to go easy on them. And that's exactly what he did. And you can tell he was helping that teen along with the interview. Because if you watch that whole interview, there are parts where you can clearly see the camera was stopped and then restarted. So you can see when there were times when, what he was saying might not have been good for him to say. All of a sudden, the camera would cut out and then come back on. You know what I mean? I saw that a couple of times in that interview. I said, okay, he must have veered off and started saying things they did not want on camera. So, yeah, I stand firm on what I said. Officer Tatum is trying to help these white teens. He's going above and beyond to protect them. All right. Clarence Stewart, thank you for the 30 jewels, Flower. Enoch, to Revelations. Thank you for the 250 jewels. Laughing Disco. Thank you both for your support from my channel. Colonel Sly. I'm sorry, Colonel Sly. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate what you do for the family. And I thank you. Thank you so much. August Dreams. Brandon Tatum is a coon, just a disgrace. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And thank you for your support from my channel. Black Noise. Thank you for the 200 jewels. Sunshine. Thank you so much. Black Noise. Thank you for the 10 jewels. Gold coin. Thank you. ADR. Thank you for the 550 jewels. Stay hydrated. Yeah, absolutely. You too. Pooh Bynum. Thank you for the 2 jewels, 100. And Jesse Paris. Thank you for the 2 jewels, Silver Star. I deeply appreciate all of your support from my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. You know, y'all, every time I get on this live, somebody all of a sudden calls me. Even times when I'm on mute and you really can't hear me when the video is playing, somebody is always calling me. So anyway, y'all, thank you so much for being here. And, you know, Officer Tatum, people like him can be dangerous, especially, you know, the fact that he built an entire platform that's anti-Black, and you look stupid as hell. You sitting there, a melanated man with an anti-Black platform. What a disgrace. There should be a special place in the lake of fire for Brandon Tatum, for real. So y'all, thank you so much. And I will see you on the next live. I'm still in the works of setting things up. So just be on the lookout. And don't forget to pick up your hair products. Shalom, family.